let's talk a little baseball. All right, let's defer to what is the expertise of Tiger Minor League Report. Season's 9 days old. Let's talk a little bit about Tiger Minor Leagues. Let's jump to the bad stuff first. Give me an injury update on two of the most exciting prospects of the last 25 years in the Detroit Tiger farm system outside of Riley Green, which are Bryce Rayner and Kevin McGonigal. How are we looking? Do we have any idea how long they'll be out?
So as far as McGonigal goes, we got an update today from Emily Walden, and she basically there's no real the timetable when he's going to come back. As far as a couple of people have asked around in Lakeland, for Bryce, still nothing as of yet. Chris, unless you saw something that I didn't see, but I didn't see anything in our DMs this afternoon.
No updated information there. We think we found when McGonigal actually got injured, and you could see it. We put a clip up. It looks like a classic, his ankle just kind of rolled up on him. How long that takes to come back? I don't know, 3 weeks, a month. You would hope it's not too long. Rayner's is tougher to figure out. He went and he played for most of the game, and then heading into the ninth inning, he kind of slowly walked out to shortstop and then called the trainers out and left the game. And this is, he got hit in the helmet a week before that. I don't think he had a concussion or anything like that. I think they're just being extra cautious to give you a week off or whatever in the lower minors. But we also know that he was slightly injured at the end of last year. He didn't participate in the Bridge League. So I don't know if there's something behind the scenes that's been nagging here, or if it's just like a calf cramp, or, it's pure speculation on my part right now. It didn't look terribly serious, but you never really know with injuries.
Yeah, it'd be fun if he could play 20 games in a row and we could see what he could do, because that was far beyond any quality of tools that we saw in the prospect game. Holy smokes, that was loud. I mean, wow.
I think he's taken like 4 swings in pro ball that we've seen, and I think 3 of them he's hit a ball over 107 miles per hour. It's been money, and all to the opposite field, just lasers. So, and we've barely seen the kid, and what is he? I don't even know if he's 20 yet. Probably not.
No, not yet. I think he turns 20 in July. Yeah, it's easy power too. And even in that one game, you saw he stole a base. He tried to pull like a unassisted double play and threw the ball 800,000 miles an hour at the wall. Clean up that accuracy a little bit, but the arm strength is there. I mean, he's a tool shed. Just got to stay healthy. Want to see him on the field.
I can't decide. I mean, a lot of people use the Corey Seager comp. I've used the A-Rod comp. That's how amazingly tooled up he is. So, pretty impressive stuff. All right. Talk to us a little bit about guys that are playing. And Max Clark off to a pretty big start. Joseph Briseño starting to come on. Other guys have also begun well. Akil Baddoo, I assume, is going to get promoted here maybe tonight to double or triple A. So tell us what's going on in the minor leagues. All of you kind of give me a flavor for what you're seeing, because I know all of you watch minor league activities and minor league baseball. So
I mean, a big time person that I've kind of seen adjust really well so far at Double A has been Roberto Campos, and so we found out, by the way, it's Tyrone. It's not Tyrone. It's Tyrone. It's been pronounced. That we got some clarification on that. But
Tyrone Lorenzo.
Yep. But Roberto Campos is off to a really good start. He has been hitting the ball very well. And thanks to our friends over at the Erie Seawolves, they've kind of given us some batted ball information too. He's hit global balls over 100 miles an hour. He's adjusted very well. Whereas Tyrone's kind of struggled a little bit. Teams have been, especially when I saw him last week when I was in Erie, there is a attack of the way they're attacking him at the plate. They're attacking him inside, and he has a hard time extending his hands and extending his arms and getting anything out. So they're not throwing anything at all. And he was facing a Harrisburg staff, a Senator staff that was just terrible outside of the guy I faced on Sunday who was throwing heat. But Campos against Susanna, who was one of the best pitching prospects out there, was able to hit him just fine. And the same pleasant surprise also in Erie is Jim Jarvis, who we thought, Chris and I were talking about this, we thought he might start the season at West Michigan, but he's been hitting the ball very well. Also, with some good miles per hour off his bat speed. He's kind of struggled a little bit, but what we've noticed between Toledo and Erie is a lot of guys don't really belong at that level. For example, Justice Bigby there's no reason for him to be in Erie, period. I mean, is he a guy at Toledo? He had a home run Saturday and then he got set down to Erie. So between him and then Trey Cruz, who I think Trey Cruz has hit safely, he's hit in 8 straight games. He's a guy who, coming back from Tommy John, you would never know it. I mean, he's looked really good. He's played third base. He's played short. And I think he's a guy who, it's just some of the decisions that I've kind of questioned a little bit about the veteran outfielders. Again, I understand they're just filling, the gaps a little bit, but another guy that really has impressed me down in Erie is Jake Miller, who is now has a lot of run so far in his Double-A work since last year. Pitches to contact a little bit, but his velocity, he's just really good at getting some swing and miss stuff. Him and Garrett Burhan, who I'm a big fan of Burhan. Chris and I have talked about this. I know a lot of people will have Burhan on their prospect list, but he pitched really good today. As far as what we've seen in Toledo, the offense has just been, I'm not gonna mince words. It's atrocious. It's atrocious right now because outside of Jace Young, there's not Hai Lee has been struggling, just continues to overswing a little bit. He's a work in progress. I mean, you do like the number of seeing, something, for example, that Tyler Owens got a, whiff weight of swing whiff weight of 50% or something like that. Those are encouraging numbers. The bullpen, Foley's been getting his velocity there. But right now, the offense has just been, the rest of Toledo's offense has just been just trash. I don't know about you, Chris, but it's just.
Yeah, it is an interesting decision that they've made where, these guys have been at Erie, Cruz, Jake Holton, Chris Myers, all these guys have been there for Bill Algieri. They've been there for 3 years now. Basically, we keep joking that it's harder to get to Toledo than it is to Detroit. And I don't know. I mean, they just keep bringing in these kind of, for lack of a better term, 4A players to just fill out the roster there in Toledo, and they're playing terribly. It's all those guys are doing really bad. So I don't know what's going on there, but I've been focusing a lot on the lower minors. Mark, you asked about Max Clark, Briseño, and stuff like that. I got to go out there for opening day. It was really fun because you got to see Chase Burns, the number 2 overall pick in last year's draft, start the game against 3 top 100 prospects. And Burns is outstanding. He has no business being in high A. He could be pitching in the majors right now out of a bullpen if he wanted to. But McGonigal was the best hitter in that game. Unfortunately, that was the only game he's played so far. But he squared up the ball 4 times, I think. Nearly hit a grand slam in 39 degrees to left center. It was amazing. Max Clark, you mentioned him. That kid does a lot of things really well that he has no business doing well at this point in his career. He's remarkably good when men are on base. He just seems to have that knack for put the ball in play, put in play in the right spot. He goes to the opposite field incredibly well for somebody his age. But I think people need to understand that he's probably not going to be that Corbin Carroll that everybody was hoping for. I don't think he's going to be that MVP level talent. He doesn't have that level of power, and he's not as fast as Corbin Carroll. He's fast, but Corbin Carroll's like an 80 grade runner. So I think you need to set your sights a little bit lower as to he's still going to be, I think, a pretty good major leaguer, but think more like a Stephen Kwan or an Adam Eaton, or the patron saint of this type of player is probably Johnny Damon, right? He could be a good big leaguer for a very long time, but I just don't think it's ever going to be MVP level.
I don't think anyone would complain if he became any one of those 3 guys. I do know that he throws better than Johnny Damon because my mom throws better than Johnny Damon, and she's 87 years old.